Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the RAMBAM, Hilchos Yesod HaTorah, Per Chamishi, the 5th chapter, is based in the second letter here, where we're discussing the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem, sanctifying Hashem's name, and Chilul Hashem, and desecrating Hashem's name, how we have to avoid it, and the cases where you are not obligated to give up your life. You can transgress an Aveira, transgress a mitzvah, in order to live so you can do more mitzvahs. And today, as we will see, there are certain mitzvahs that no matter what, a person cannot transgress them and they will be obligated to give up their life. But what are we speaking about over here when you're not obligated to give up your life? The Shar mitzvahs, it's referring to all of the mitzvahs in the Torah, chutz, except for ma'avodah zara, idol worship, v'gila rayis, illicit relations, u'shvichas damim, and murder and killing. Those three averas, aval shalosh averas elu, these three big, major cardinal sins, im yoimiloi avor alachas mehen, eitahareg, if a goy comes in and says, I want you to bow down to this idol, or I want you to have illicit relations with this woman, or I want you to take this gun and kill that other person, otherwise I'm going to kill you instead, which means if you don't bow down to the idols, I'll kill you. If you don't have illicit relations, I'll kill you. If you don't kill this person, I'll kill you. So it would seem to be that based on what we said previously, since Hashem wants us to live and not to die, so perform the Aveira, perform the sin, and then you'll be able to live. Says the Rambam, and this is based on the Gemara, the Rambam writes over here the following. In these three cardinal sins, Yahareg ve'al Yavor, you must allow yourself to be killed, ve'al Yavor, and you're not allowed to transgress them. Now the Maral explains over here that although by every other Aveira, every other sin that there is in the Torah, if a person transgresses it, in order to be able to perform more mitzvahs in his life, he's not detonating and destroying his Tselem Elokim, the mahus, the essence of who he is as a Jew. Masha'enkin, on the other hand, these three cardinal sins, they are the exact opposite of what a Jew is supposed to be. Avodah Zara is the exact opposite of our Amunah. Gil Arayas, illicit relations, is the exact opposite of our purity. And murdering somebody is the exact opposite of the sanctity of life that we're supposed to have. A Jew cannot survive under those conditions. And therefore, says the Torah, if a goy would come over to you and he would say, do one of these three things, otherwise I'm going to kill you, Yaharig v'al Yavor, you're obligated to allow yourself to be killed because you're no longer living as a Jew anyway. A Jew cannot do these things. V'al Yavor, do not transgress. What exactly are we talking about over here? Bisman she'agoy mischaven lahanos atzman. Atzma, that's when the goy, the non-Jew, is having intention for his own pleasure. Kagoyin, what does that mean? She'ansai lebenois livnois loy beisai b'shabes or levashaloi tavshiloi. So we're going back to the first case. If a non-Jew comes to you and he says, I want you to build me a house on Shabbos. I want you to cook me a delicious meal on Shabbos. Anas isha lebailo v'kiyotzi bazeh, or anas isha lebailo, which seems to be saying over here that the non-Jew ends up raping a Jewish woman, so that would not be her violation of illicit relations over here. Says the Rambam, in those cases, in those cases, that's where a Jew is obligated to transgress the prohibition and not give up their life. However, if the goy had only one intention, he wants the Jew to transgress a mitzvah, not because the non-Jew wants to get benefit. He just wants to see a Jew violate mitzvahs and do averas. If it's between the Jew and the non-Jew only, The Ein Shamasar Yisrael, and there's not 10 other Jews that are around, so it's not public. Yaver Val Yaharag. Then you end up transgressing. Val Yaharag and don't get killed. However, if he is oppressing you, and he's forcing you to transgress this avera or this mitzvah, and you're in the presence of another 10 Jews, and the goy is trying to ridicule you and make you and embarrass you and shame you in front of the rest of the 10 people, which is considered farhesia public, yaharag val yavor, in that case, then you're obligated to give up your life and do not transgress the prohibition. You need to stand up for the sake of Hashem. And that's what the Rambam concludes with. Even if his intention is only to violate one of the Torah's mitzvahs and not to transgress one of the cardinal sins, since that you're in a public domain, there are 10 other Jews that are watching you, you have an obligation now to be Mekadesh Shem Shemayim, to sanctify Hashem's name, and not to desecrate HaKadosh Baruch Hu's holy name. Much more to speak about. We'll continue tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem.